Your phone is full? Your hard drives are making strange and weird noises? And there's 10 years of photos on your old laptop that you've really never backed up? Sounds painfully familiar? Well, I'm here to tell you that cloud storage might be just what you need. And lucky for you, I've spent years testing services specifically for photo backup. And in this video, I'm breaking down the top 5 cloud storage options for your photos in 2026. I'm covering providers with the best security and privacy out there, plus a few options with lifetime plans so you never have to worry about this ever again. So, what should you look for in a cloud storage service for photos? And here's specifically what I focused on. How much space you get, what it costs long term, how strong the security is, and are there any features made for photos like, for example, support for RAW files or automatic photo sorting, which can come in very handy. And finally, just how easy it is to use day to day. And if you like videos like this, where I recommend the best cloud storage services for your specific needs, hit that subscribe button so you never miss an update. Let's start with the obvious one most people already know, and that is Google Drive. So if you're using Android, it's basically built in and you can't really avoid it, and that makes it the default choice for a lot of people. If you've been watching the channel for a while, well, you probably know that, yeah, I tend to have my issues with Google Drive, mostly in terms of privacy. But honestly, Google handles photos like a pro, and watch this. I type in beach sunset in the search bar and it instantly pulls up these shots. You can throw any word at it, like dog or birthday, and it'll find all the relevant shots. And for me, it's not just the search. The organization is automatic. It groups photos by faces and locations without me tagging anything. I've opened it after a trip and it's already created a highlight album for me. And also, let me show you the editing options real quick. In the first tab, I can change the aspect ratio like this. And in the next tab here, I can add a nice blur effect and adjust the color focus. And next, I have all these color and brightness sliders that I can very easily adjust. And there, you see, when I do this, it just looks better. Now, if I didn't want to really mess around with those sliders, I could also choose one of the presets that you can see right here on the screen. And finally, there's the pen and highlighter tools that I can use to add annotations to an image like so. Google Drive is actually one of the easiest platforms for day-to-day use. The interface is clean and super familiar whether you're on desktop, web, or mobile, and it integrates tightly with other Google tools, right? But let me show you something that does bother me about the mobile app. So if I delete a photo here, right in Google Photos, it also deletes it from your phone as well. And that two-way sync catches a lot of people off guard, sincerely, myself included, the first time it happened. On Android, you can exclude folders from automatic uploads. But iPhone users, well, you don't get that option, unfortunately. And here's a big one for photographers: compression. Now, if you upload in storage saver mode, the photos are compressed to reduce file size. And this can be amazing for really saving space, but be warned, this is actually irreversible. You can only store stuff in full quality if you upload original quality, right? In the original quality mode. But just be careful to choose the right setting that is right for you. Now, if you're looking for privacy, Google Drive really isn't it. It doesn't offer zero-knowledge encryption, and Google holds the key to the kingdom, if you will, and boy, do they like to use them. They automatically scan content for malware and abuse prevention, well, and they scan for policy enforcement, well, and they scan to power features like, obviously, AI search and smart organization. And that scanning is exactly how it recognizes things like dog or beach sunset in the search I showed earlier. And, well, with that in mind, let's talk performance, right? And in my test, I'm using a throttled 100 megabits connection, a 5 gigabytes folder which is our standard folder that we always upload to all the cloud storage services, and that uploaded in about 7 minutes. Downloads finished in just over 7 minutes, and that's really close to the theoretical maximum for that connection speed. So Google Drive is squeezing out basically everything it can. Very fast and stable, also with low CPU usage. Okay, now it gets interesting. On the full 1 gigabit per second connection without throttling, uploads came in at around 5 minutes and downloads about 5 minutes and 47 seconds. Honestly, I expected a bit more from Google. I mean, they basically are the internet, right? Servers in every country, cables under every ocean. So these results felt a bit underwhelming. It's not slow by any means, but it's really not blowing off the doors either, right? And as for pricing, it's actually pretty simple. You get 15 gigabytes free across Drive, Gmail, and Photos. And after that, plans start at $2 a month for 100 gigabytes or $10 a month for 2 terabytes. All in all, Google Drive is best for Android users who really value convenience over privacy. Okay, next up, Proton Drive. And this comes from the same privacy-obsessed team behind Proton Mail. Everything here is end-to-end encrypted. Proton can't see your files even if they wanted to. Add a Swiss jurisdiction on top, and you're looking at some of the strongest privacy protections out there. The interface is clean and feels really pretty intuitive. I can drag and drop photos to upload. I can create folders, right? I can share files with a link. It's all super easy. Let me show you something really cool. You can come over here to the Photos tab, and here is the sidebar, right? You can click on Upload Photos, and when you do, Proton automatically organizes your photos by date and into categories, and favorites, and screenshots, videos, live photos, selfies, portraits, bursts, and also panoramas. You can also manually create an album like this. I'll just give it a name here. Then I'll add photos directly from the app like this. And on mobile, it's actually also pretty easy because it can automatically back up your camera roll. There's nothing really overly fancy, but it's a solid set of features to help you manage your photo library on a day-to-day basis. Okay, speed-wise, Proton Drive is very stable and very fast. Uploads of a 5 gigabyte folder came in at about 7 minutes and 15 seconds, and on my throttled 100 megabits connection, right? And downloads were right about 7 minutes, and that's nearly maxing out the available bandwidth. And essentially, it's tied with Google Drive. And for a privacy-focused service running everything through encryption, that's super impressive. Okay, here on the unthrottled 1 gigabit per second connection, uploads averaged around 3 minutes and 20 seconds, and downloads about 3 minutes and 48 seconds. And now we're talking, right? The speeds hovered around 25 megabytes per second on average, and it peaked around 33 megabytes per second. And that's significantly faster than Google Drive on the same connection, mind you. And I honestly didn't expect Proton to outperform Google here, but, well, it did. And it stayed stable throughout with low CPU usage. And those are really solid results. Pricing, right? It starts with a free 5 gigabyte plan, and paid options begin at 20 to 200 gigabytes for just $4. Next is Unlimited, which offers 500 gigabytes for around $13 a month. And that's bundled with Proton Mail, Proton VPN, and Calendar. For comparison, Google Drive is much cheaper, but you don't get the same privacy lever. And there's also Proton Duo, right? For around $20 a month, you get 1 terabyte shared between 2 users, plus an extra 15 gigabytes added every year. You don't find lifetime plans here, but if you head to the link in the description box below, you'll find the best deals for Proton Drive we negotiated specifically for all of our viewers. Well, if you want to hear my take, right? Proton Drive is really ideal for users who care about privacy and want a trusted, security-first provider with really simple, organized photo storage. All right, let's talk about Internext. And this one promises privacy and also a lifetime plan. Everything you upload is encrypted on your device before it even reaches the cloud. That's called zero-knowledge encryption, right? And you gotta admire the transparency. Their code is open source. That means anyone can inspect it and help find vulnerabilities. Plus, they're the only cloud storage provider so far to offer something called post-quantum security. And basically, it offers you protection against future threats from quantum computers. And as far as I'm concerned, this is as safe as you can get for cloud storage these days. InterNext gives you a virtual drive that acts essentially like a normal hard drive. It automatically syncs photos without taking up space on your computer. And let me show you the interface here a little bit, right? There is a Drive tab right here where you can essentially upload images, you can organize them into albums, and manage also personal and family files separately. You can use the search bar here and select image, essentially, to search for a photo, but here is the catch, right? You can only search by name. Don't expect Google's level of search results. You will be really thoroughly disappointed, right? All right, performance was fine during my testing, but let's be real. It's really the slowest one of the bunch, right? Upload is averaged about 8 minutes on my throttled 100 megabits per second connection, and download's closer to 9.5 minutes, and that's noticeably behind the competition, and you're leaving some speed here on the table. On the full 1 gigabit per second connection, uploads took about 7 minutes and 48 seconds, and downloads around 9 minutes and 27 seconds. And here's a problem. It's barely faster than the throttle test, which tells me InterNext isn't really taking advantage of faster internet speeds. I noticed it really struggles with large files and zip files. Speeds would drop below 5 megabits per second, megabyte per second at times. The fastest I saw was 13 megabyte per second on uploads, and that was only really super briefly. So it's definitely one of the slower options in this lineup. It's not painfully slow, right? But you're not really going to be pulling your hair out while uploading. Not that kind of slow, but if really speed matters to you, this isn't a winner, right? For everyday use with like smaller photo uploads, most people probably won't notice, but power users moving large libraries will really, really feel it. And pricing works like this. There's a free tier, but it's only 1 gigabyte. That's next to nothing for photos, basically. They do offer some excellent annual and lifetime plans, though. Lifetime plans come in at 1 terabyte, 3 terabyte, and 5 terabyte. You pay once, and, well, you own the storage forever. And if you want the best deals for lifetime cloud storage, check also the link in the description box below. I always keep these links updated to ensure you can grab the best deal possible, no matter when you watch this video. InterNext is ideal for families who want a secure, private place for their photos and other files, and who prefer paying once instead of paying every month. And since it's a newer service, choosing a lifetime plan means putting long-term trust in a company that's still building its track record. But for me, really the combination of privacy and a one-time payment is worth the risk. All right, moving on to Sync.com. Sync doesn't alter or compress your photos. That's a big deal. You see everything exactly as you upload it. The interface is pretty clean and easy to use. Here, let me actually show you what I mean. What I like about it is you can essentially star your favorite shots, right? Like in a photo application. So I click the star icon here, and now I can access them quickly from the sidebar over here. On mobile, automated camera uploads make it easy to back up new photos too. Another great feature on mobile is the sync offline setting. So this lets you store folders locally, up to 10,000 files or 100 gigabyte per folder. So you can work even without an internet connection if you want to. And this one's really a game changer if you are a professional photographer out in the field with no internet. You can still scroll through your shots. You can review the edits, or you can even show clients your work. And Sync.com is a strong contender when it comes to privacy too. They use zero-knowledge encryption, and with my Wireshark verified, it really confirmed everything is properly secured in transit. So the service is reliable and it's super well established. It's based in Canada, where privacy laws are very strong. Speed-wise, uploads average about 9 minutes and 47 seconds for a 5 gigabyte folder on my throttled 100 megabit per second internet connection. Downloads ran nearly 12 minutes, and that's really a bit slower than I'd like to see. So you're definitely not maxing out the connection here. And it's not terrible, but it's noticeably behind Google Drive and Proton. On the unthrottled 1 gigabit per second connection, uploads came in at about 9 minutes and 36 seconds, and downloads around 10 minutes and 56 seconds. So basically the same as the throttle test. And that's a bit disappointing. It means Sync.com isn't really benefiting from a faster connection. So the speeds weren't super stable either. Slower with larger files. It averaged around 8 to 9 megabytes per second. It peaked briefly at 23 megabytes per second on uploads and 28 megabytes per second on downloads. But those peaks unfortunately didn't last. Look, it does get the job done, and you're getting rock solid encryption, but if you're sitting on a gigabit connection expecting lightning fast transfers, well, you're gonna have to wait a while. The trade-off here is certainly security over speed. And in terms of cost, you can start with 5 gigabytes for free. That's enough really to get you going and test the service. Plus the paid plans offer excellent value. 1 terabyte for only $12 a month, or 5 terabyte for $28. So check the link in the description box below to see our CloudWords exclusive deals. But if you're hoping to pay once and be done, well, you're really barking up the wrong tree here. Overall, Sync.com is best for users who want proven encryption at a fair price and don't need advanced photo-specific features. Okay, now for my number 1 pick, and that is pCloud. Now, the company has been around since 2013, so it has a really solid track record, something you can really trust if you're storing years of photos. And for photographers, pCloud really checks a lot of the boxes that others don't. For example, it integrates with Lightroom. Another big win is also the virtual drive feature. It lets me access my entire library without eating up local storage. The mobile app is something that I use a lot and where it really shines for photo backup. So let me show you what it looks like in action, right? So I tap Explore All Memories, and I think this is such a fun way to really relive great moments. So it obviously does something similar to what iCloud does with your album sorting and whatnot. But here you have everything in a different cloud, which is also helpful for redundancy. I can also come up here and click the plus icon to upload photos or videos, or I can really take new ones straight from the application, right? Or I can enable automatic upload from my camera roll like this. Obviously, you have to give it permissions to do so, and then would automatically sync everything back to the cloud. If you're moving from another service, the migration is pretty painless. There are built-in tools for Dropbox, for OneDrive, and Google Drive. And now let's touch a little bit on encryption. So the standard pCloud is super secure, right? But for true zero-knowledge encryption across all files, there's a paid add-on called pCloud Crypto. So if you need that level of privacy, you'll want to factor that into your cost. And speaking of which, pCloud's pricing is pretty simple. You get up to 10 gigabytes for free to start. Paid plans include 500 gigabytes for about $5 a month, or around $200 lifetime, 2 terabytes for roughly $10 a month, or $400 lifetime, and even a 10 terabyte option at $30 a month, about $1,200 one time, if you use our link in the description. So this one gives you always the best pCloud deals available online. And that lifetime option really sets it apart if you want to avoid subscriptions. And for the best deals, as I said before, check these plans, check out the links below. And the best thing is it's a win-win situation for both you and the channel, because you will support us by signing up through one of our links. Now let's talk performance. And this is where pCloud really flexes. Uploads average just over 7 minutes on my throttled 100 megabits connection, and downloads about 6 minutes and 50 seconds. And that's the fastest in this lineup on the throttle tests, already pretty much beating everyone else. But here's where it gets wild. On the full 1 gigabit per second connection, uploads dropped to just 2 minutes and 6 seconds, and downloads about 2 minutes and 33 seconds. And that is insanely fast, right? We're talking more than 3 times faster than Google Drive on the same connections. So speeds jump between 10 megabytes per second and 58 megabytes per second, averaging around, I would say, 40 megabytes per second. It did slow down a bit for large files, but overall, I mean, this is the clear speed champion. The difference between the throttled and the unthrottled test was really massive, right? Most services don't improve much when you give them the more bandwidth, but pCloud absolutely does. So if you've got a fast internet connection, or if you're thinking of upgrading your internet, well, and if you're moving large photo libraries, I mean, pCloud will really save you serious time. So all in all, pCloud is great for users who want long-term storage without monthly payments and who also need strong photo features. So here is my final verdict, right? Google Drive is the best for convenience and obviously for Android users. You just gotta understand the privacy trade-offs, right? So if privacy is your absolute top priority and you don't need photo organization, well, go with Proton Drive, right? But if you want privacy plus lifetime options, you gotta go for Internext, right? If you want encrypted storage at a super fair price with a rock-solid provider that's been in the game for more than 10 years, well, Sync.com is a solid choice, based in Canada, super secure. But if you want the best combination of speed, of features, photo support, and the option to pay once and really be done forever, well, pCloud takes the gold here. If this video helped you find the right solution, subscribe for more honest tech reviews and drop a comment letting me know which service you're going with. And hopefully I'm going to see you in my next video. Bye-bye.